Um, uh, I'll be coming back soon and making more content. And yes, I got a haircut recently, and my hair is looking better now than it was before. But holy shit, have I been sick lately, guys? Like, I got so sick that after that last live stream that I made, which was on March 23rd, 2025, I have like some of this info written down here because I had to go back and like track the dates of like the last video I did and then when I first started feeling better. But yeah, if you guys remember, the very last live stream that I did was on March 23rd, 2025. It was when I played Creed Rise to Glory Championship Edition on the second story mode when I fought what was that? I fought the guy from Creed 3. What's his face? What was that guy's name? I forget what the hell that guy's name was. The big black guy from Creed 3. It doesn't matter though, but I fought that guy at the end of the game, and at that time I wasn't feeling too bad. I felt pretty good when I was making that last video when I was boxing, but it was um, after that video, that was the last gaming thing that I did. I don't remember if it was before or after that I did the streams where I was showing like a play that I was at live when I was watching a play, which is a really good play by the way, and you guys should watch that video where I showed that play was really well done, and I know the people that did it. It was a really cool thing to see in person for me. And it was really nostalgic for me because I have history with some of the people that made that play, and it was really really cool for me. But those are the last two things I ever did, which was like right around that time, somewhere between March 20th and 23rd, I think. Somewhere like right around mid March is when that all happened. After that, I stopped posting because my condition started getting worse and worse and worse, and it was like after that date, I got kind of busy for a little bit, and then I got into a point where I wasn't busy anymore, and I wanted to start making content again, but I was getting so fucking sick that I couldn't keep up the content, and every day I was getting worse, and I was thinking, God, I want to get up, I want to do another stream right now, like I know I need to continue the Batman series. I want to do another one of those. And then every time I'd be sitting there thinking about it, I'd be like, God, I feel so fucking bad right now. Like I can't fucking get up to do this. And um and it started in like mid March when I was getting this like allergy of some kind where I don't know if I think I might have mentioned it a couple times in some of my last few live streams when I probably said something about like how my voice was kind of like messed up and I was having to drink a lot of like hot tea and do vocal warm-ups and stuff like that to prepare for live streams because my voice was like I for a while during mid-March last month it was getting to where like I was waking up every day with my throat just like bone dry and feeling like it was absolutely fucking destroyed where I could like barely speak or do anything with my voice and I'd have to get up every morning and drink a big cup of cold water and then I'd have to like heat up some boiling water in like a basically like a teapot and pour that into like a mug and then put my tea in that and make myself like a hot cup of green tea with like some honey in it and I would drink that and then do like an hour or so of vocal warm-ups and after that my voice and my throat would feel a lot better and a lot more opened up and to I'd be able to like sing all day long if I wanted to, or do voices all day if I wanted to, and I felt great after that. And I would do that daily drink, and then after when that was done with that, I would go do my next live stream. And I'd be like, hey guys, I'm Ken, blah 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 blah. This is my video, and then the next morning I'd feel like shit again, and I have to do it all over again and that was going on for a while in mid March, and then all of a sudden I was getting like this, I was getting really stuffy, like in my nose, and I was having to blow my nose just constantly, all day fucking long, every fucking day, and it was getting so annoying. And then my throat was getting like worse. But then at some point, my throat kind of cleared up where like that wasn't as bad anymore. And then my stuffiness in my nose kind of went away. And I felt like I was like less bad with the allergens. I think I had like a little bit of a headache for a while, and then that was kind of going away. And then I got to a point after that in right around March 20th, the mid like towards the end of March, where I was starting to feel a little better. And then I went on this binge, which I think fucked myself. I think it made things way worse, and I regret it, and I admit I shouldn't have done it. But basically, I had found a dollar store. I found this dollar store that was right down the street from my house I'm currently living at, and I will admit, I have been addicted to like sweets and shitty foods for a while, and I'm kind of a foodie, and I for a long time I've been eating a lot and not doing much. And that's why obviously I am a little bit fat. But for a while, I was actually not doing that as much, and I was eating better, and I was starting to lose weight again. But then when I found this dollar store, I was like, oh, I can walk like a mile down the street and buy like all the shitty stuff I want. Well, so then after I found this dollar store, I started going down there and buying a bunch of like, pizza and ice cream and really bad shit that I should not have been eating, and I was eating a ton of it. And also drinking a lot of soda pops, like certain kind of sodas I like that are very extremely high in sugars. Mostly the what was it, the Dr Pepper strawberry and cream, which every single bottle of Dr Pepper strawberry and cream is 50 milligrams of sugar. If you drink a six pack, it's 300 milligrams of sugar. I drank the whole fucking six pack in like between like 5 to 7 days. Plus, I had a shit ton of ice cream. I had a lot of pizza, and I was eating way too much sugary shit and junk food. And that was when that sickness fucking started. Right around March 23rd, 2025. Right after I did that last live stream when I was playing Creed Rise to Glory and I was like boxing with the guy from Creed 3 and all that. After that, I went on this big binge. I was still kind of on the binge at the time where I was eating all this sugary junk food, and then all of a sudden, this one fucking night, like right somewhere between March 23rd and March 28th, somewhere between there, I got hit with this like sudden feeling where I had this bad pain like in my back. It was like started in my left shoulder where every time I like sit back in this chair I was sitting in when I was watching a movie in my living room, I would be like, ah, fuck, my shoulder. Why is my shoulder hurting? And it fucking hurt so bad. And I didn't know why because I hadn't done anything physically that would have hurt my shoulder. I had just been relaxing, watching movies, and eating food. And then it kept getting worse. The pain in my shoulder was getting worse and worse and worse all fucking day until it was like I could feel it popping and shit when I move it. And then I was like, why the fuck is that hurting? And then that night I went to bed, got up the next morning, and all of a sudden, like my whole left side of my chest was hurting more. And it was like my left shoulder was hurting, my left kidney area was hurting, and like the whole general left side of my torso was just in intense pain. And it felt extremely fucking tight. And it was like when I would try to breathe in, I felt like great pain in the left part of my chest, left shoulder, and like lower left kind of like kidney area. Mostly just the left shoulder, left chest though. It was like when I would breathe in as much as I could like this, right about there, I would feel the pain right in here. I don't feel it anymore. I feel fine now. But that was concerning me greatly. I was extremely concerned with the fact that when I breathed in all the way like that, I felt a great pain in my chest and shoulder. And then that pain was getting worse every fucking day for days on end, dude, like literally. And then all of a sudden, not even like a day or two after that pain had started, when after it became my entire left side, about a day or two after that, I had a full blown fucking fever in my head, just like overnight, within like a day or two. It was like I woke up, my whole fucking head was just on fire. It fucking burned. It was like intense, and it was like it wasn't just burning. It was like there was like a physical pressure like in my head, like my head was being crushed, and I had this splitting fucking headache through my whole head. It was fucking terrible. And then for days on end after that, I was getting like fatigue, and I was getting super weak where I could barely get up to walk around or do anything. I could barely move, and I felt so fucking tired. I was just like sleeping all the time, and I felt like I was fucking dying. And then I started getting more concerned. I was like, what the fuck is wrong with me? And at least I was smart enough that as soon as that stuff started happening, as soon as I got the muscle pain, the pain when I breathed in, the fever, and like the pain in my shoulder, and all, as soon as all that started, I changed my diet immediately. And because I knew this has something to do with the sugar I was eating, because I was eating a high intake of sugar. And I know sugar can cause inflammation, it can cause pain, and it can feed bacteria and germs and things and viruses that lay in your body if you have any in you, and it can make them worse and make them grow and make them infect you, make them like fuck you up. So I figured maybe I did have some sort of like viral virus that was in me, but I didn't know it because my immune system was good enough to fight it off. But because I ate so much fucking sugar and junk food, I had compromised my immune system, and then it took over. And that's what I think happened. It's like the only explanation. So as soon as those symptoms started, when I got the pain and then I woke up with the fever, that's when I was like, okay, I need to change everything now. And I stopped eating junk food. I stopped eating sugary shit. I cut all sugar from my diet. I stopped eating any of the shit that I was eating before. And I started saying, I'm gonna eat fruits, vegetables, and like more like regular meats like hamburger, turkey, chicken, more of that stuff. I'm gonna eat more soups. I'm gonna have like fruit juices, milk, and I went like all in. I was eating like apples, oranges, stuff like that every fucking day. I was pounding fruit juices, milk, uh, apple juice, fruit smoothies, anything like that I could get. I was eating like either a few fruits in a small sandwich with some real turkey meat and cheese every day, or I was eating a can of soup every day, one can of soup a day, and it was like a chicken noodle kind of soup or like a beef and vegetable soup, one of those, because that's the best kind of shit you can eat. It's like some of the healthiest stuff you can eat, and I know I had a deficiency in fruits and vegetables because I was mainly eating meats, bread, pastas, and then shitty like junk food. And I was not eating enough fruits or vegetables, so I started eating a lot more fruits and vegetables, and then less of the pastas and the other shit that I had, except for sandwiches that had real meat in them because I was having shittier meat before, so I started getting better meat. And then ever since I changed my diet and I started taking like supplement pills which had a bunch of vitamins and other things in them which are really good for you and also good for fighting shit like this, then I started getting better. And it took a while. It took like a week or two, but I got better slowly over time. And now I'm fine. I'm fine now. Like it's all gone now. The infection's gone. I just been waiting a while to make this video and then start making content again. But it was right around April 6th this month of 2025, right around then is when I started feeling better. That's the day that my fever and the pressure in my head went away. And it happened when I threw up, which actually was an accident. Because I remember that day, some of you guys probably know I have a like a problem with my phlegm, which I've had since 2020, and I don't know what the fuck it is. But basically, I have to cough up a lot of phlegm every day, not constantly, but like every so often, every other like few hours, I'll cough up like a bunch of phlegm balls and be spitting them in like the trash can or in the fucking in the toilet or whatever. And I was doing that, I was getting a bunch of phlegm coming up, so I was coughing up all this phlegm. And when I was doing that on that day, April 6th, 2025, I did it wrong a couple of times, which I do once in a while because I have great vocal control and great control of my throat. So usually I have good enough control. I can like stop and pull and cough it up in just the right way where I won't puke. This time I couldn't do that. It was getting like caught in my throat when I was coughing up this phlegm, and it hit just the right way that it triggered my gag reflex. So I just instantly was like, ugh, and I fucking puked like 5 times in the trash can I was spitting into, and I threw up everything that was in my stomach, which I thought was bad because I had just got done drinking a bunch of water, fruit juice, and milk and stuff like that, which was to help me. And now I threw everything in my stomach up. So now I was thinking, oh, fuck. Now I have nothing in me to fight this. What am I going to do? But then as soon as I threw up, within a few hours after it, the fever that had been in constantly happening to me for weeks. No, not weeks, days on end, days on end. It was a week or about a week or two. The fever went away like that in a few hours. And then after that, I just had a little bit of that pressure in my head left, which cleared up in like a few days after. And then I was like, okay, that's great because if I don't have the fever, that means that this shit's going to go away quickly. And so, thank God, whatever the fuck I threw up into that toilet, I guess it had the virus in it that was causing this fucking fever I had. The fever went away, boom, quickly after that, and then all the symptoms I had quickly left my body within a week after that, since April 6th. So I was pretty much good by right around April 10th. See, what day is it today? Yeah, it's April 12th today. So by the time it got around like April 9th, 10th, 11th, right around there, I started feeling fine, and I feel great. I feel fine now. Uh, all the muscle pain is gone, all the aching, all that shit's gone, fever's gone. There's no pressure in my head. Like I feel totally fine now, and my temperature is normal now. And I'm still sticking to my new diet, or I'm not having any junk food. I'm not having any sugars anymore at all. I'm eating like pure fruit, veggies, all the shit that I need that I should have been having before, that I just wasn't having because I was stupid and lazy. And I was like, oh, I want to have things that taste good. No, I need to have things that are good. And I fucked up. That was my fault. Um, but yeah, I feel great now, and I will be making more content soon. And yeah, also I actually literally went to the fucking hospital while I had that fever and that sickness. After May 23rd, it was right at the end of March, so probably right around like March 30th, March 31st, like right around there, I went to the hospital to get checked on because that was when I was at like my peak sickness, when this fever was pounding in my head and I had all that soreness going on and in my body and everything. During that, right around March 30th or so, I went to the hospital to get checked on, and I told them all the symptoms and things I was having and my concerns, and they were like, "Oh yeah, that's pretty bad." And in the first place I went to, some lady just came and asked me a bunch of questions and was like, "Oh yeah, that doesn't sound good. Let me do some tests." And then all she did was like, basically like do the stethoscope thing and check my breathing, and then go, "Oh, your breathing sounds good." And then she had me lay down like on the hospital bed, and she like pressed on my chest and around like my abdomen in different places. And at first I didn't feel much, but then she pressed on my lower left abdomen, and I fucking screamed. I was like, ah, ah, and dude, it fucking hurt. And I said, dude, fucking stop. And then she was like, okay, you're having severe abdomen pain. Now I need to send you to like a big hospital and get you like a CAT scan and blood work to see what is going on in your abdomen, because we don't treat that here. So she got me a referral, and then I went to a bigger hospital that actually like looks at that shit, and they did the CAT scan first. They brought me in, they scanned like my chest, I think, first, or no, I think they x-rayed my chest first, and then they did the CAT scan of like my lower abdomen, and then they did a blood test afterward where they put a fucking needle in my arm, right here. They stuck a fucking needle in me, which I hate. I have a big fear of needles, and I have a very low pain tolerance, and blood test needles always hurt extremely bad for me. But even though I'm a bit of a bitch baby when it comes to taking a blood test from a doctor, I handled this well than any other time I've ever had a blood test. But I still screamed a bit. Like soon as they put the needle, I was like, "Ah, motherfucker!" And then I calmed down, and then they were like, "Jesus, dude," and I freaked out a little bit because it fucking hurts when they stick you. But right after that, it's okay. And it freaked me the hell out though. But I remember they stuck me in my right arm first. They drew some blood, tested it, and then when they came back, they said there it looked like my blood. They called it my what was it? The blood clotting enzymes in my blood. They said they looked abnormal, and it alarmed them. So then they wanted to do a second CAT scan to check like my chest and abdomen to look at like my organs more because they weren't sure what was going on yet. So then they had to stick me again with a fucking IV, which I really didn't want to do because they just got done doing a blood test. So I was like, fuck, if you hit the same vein again, it's going to hurt 10 times worse. And I was like, fuck that, just hit the other arm. And this lady looked for the veins on my other arm, couldn't find them, and then she just blindly shoved a needle in like the middle of the pit of my elbow in my other arm, and I'm like screaming like, ah, motherfucker, ah! And then she just yanks it back out and goes, oh, I'm sorry, we're done. And I'm like, what the fuck are you doing? And then she was like, well, couldn't find the vein, so yeah, we can't use this arm. And then she just fucking bruised my left arm with the needle and then bandaged it and was like, sorry, my bad. And I was like, oh, good God. And then they at first they told me they were gonna give me the IV because they were gonna give me some like heavy pain meds because of the amount of pain I was in. Because I told them at a scale of 1 to 10, the pain was at that time the pain was a fucking 10. Whenever I'd move around or I'd breathe, like I would literally, whenever I breathe in all the way or I move a certain way, I would literally go like because it actually hurt that fucking bad at first, but then it got better slowly over time. But at that time the pain was so bad they thought of giving me morphine and two other like serious pain meds, and one of them was going to deal with nausea because they said those meds can cause nausea, and that's why at first they were going to give me the IV. But when they fucked up and they just fucking bruised my left arm, I said, no, fuck you, I don't want your fucking IV, just give me some oral shit. This is way too much like fucking brain trauma to go through. I can't take this mentally, just give me your fucking pills. So then they were like, oh, okay, sorry, we fucked up. We'll just give you some oral pain meds then. And they gave me like the regular shit like ibuprofen and Tylenol, which I took together. And it helped a little, but not completely. And then after that, they came back and they were like, oh, sorry, sir, but we actually have to give you the IV now because now the doctor ordered the second CAT scan, which is a deeper kind of CAT scan, and this one requires the fucking IV to be in your arm. So then I was like, oh, you son of a bitch. You just fucking did a blood test on my right arm and then bruised my fucking left arm, and now you're telling me you still have to put a needle in one of my arms where you just fucked up twice. And I was like, oh. And I tried to have them do the left arm, but they were checking for like an hour, like just tapping around and feeling it and looking at it with the band, that like band they put on it where they compress it. And they were like, we really cannot see any veins in this arm that are like raised or like visible enough that we could accurately stick it. So we're really gonna have to do your right arm unless you want us to blind guess. And I was like, fuck it, fine, do the right arm. And they were like, we could do a regular IV, which will not hurt us bad, or we could do this like this one that they called like a sonogram IV or something like that they called it, which I've never heard of in my life, but they said like it shouldn't be as bad, but it will hurt worse. And I was like, nope, fuck that. I'm not doing anything that hurts worse. Just stick me with a regular fucking IV. Fuck that. And then they were like, okay then, and I had them get this spray they use that's supposed to make it like it's called like a numbing spray. It's supposed to make it hurt less. Did not fucking help at all. It did not help at all. And dude, they gave me a fucking Valium pill to take before they did that last shot for the IV because of how bad I freak out when they give me needles at a hospital. Did not help at all. Did not fucking help at all. We waited like 10 minutes. I was freaking out. I was still, oh my God, was I fucking still freaking out. And then they did the fucking numbing spray where they were like spraying right on my arm here, and they were just like, psst, psst, is that feeling better? And they just kept spraying it until and it was making my arm like physically cold. and it like actually was fucking burning. At first it felt nice because it got cold and it got a little numb, but then they sprayed too much and it actually started to sting and burn my arm because I already had an open fucking cut on my arm from the first shot they gave me. So they're spraying it into my fucking skin and it's like burning and I'm like, fucking stop that. And then they were like, okay, here we go. Bam, just shoved it right in and I'm like, motherfucker. And I still screamed and cursed. Even though they numbed it with the fucking numbing spray, I still was like, god damn it, screaming. Because, oh my god, it still fucking hurt with that shit. None of that shit helps. It did not help me at all. But they got it in and they just popped the needle in real quick, taped it, wrapped it up, and they were like, we're done. And they shot me with some kind of drug, and then they rushed me straight to the CAT scan room, got the second CAT scan done, scanned my entire torso, mostly with my lungs though. They looked deep into my lungs with it because they were looking to see if I had any blood clots in my lungs. But then they said, luckily, I did not have any blood clots in my lungs at all. My lungs were fine, which was a good sign. And then the last thing they did was they did a piss test where you piss in the cup and you give it to the doctor and they test that. Nothing came back from that. The piss was fine, and they asked me all kinds of questions. And they were like, oh, how's it feel when you piss? That feels fine, and all that kind of shit. And none of that was like, all that was fine. And then when they came back, they gave me some kind of drug in the IV that I think was supposed to be like a contrast that just like helps like you glow and like illuminate better when they scan you with the CAT scan shit. But that wasn't as bad. That drug that they gave me on the second CAT scan, they warned me as they were injecting me with the drug they gave me for the second CAT scan. They said, just a warning, this specific screening drug that we're shooting in your arm right now, it'll make you feel weird, it'll make you feel like you're warm, and then it might make you feel like you're pissing yourself even though you're actually not pissing yourself. And I was like, oh, that's interesting to know, that's fucking weird. And that did not happen, but the opposite happened, where when they were pulling me out of the CAT scan, I suddenly felt like I shit myself. And I was like, oh no, I feel like I'm shitting myself, this isn't good. And they were like, yep, it can also do that, that's the drug. And I felt around down there, and nothing was there. I was dry, there was nothing there. So obviously I just felt like I was doing that because of what they shot me with, which is a fucking weird sensation. And that was the weirdest thing that fucking happened. And then after that, they still didn't know exactly what the fuck was wrong with me, but all they knew was that the only thing that they really found was that my spleen, which is right here in the left side of the chest, like just under your left chest muscle. They said my spleen was a little bit enlarged, which actually is not good. But other than that, they couldn't find anything else wrong with me, and they were gonna try to do a PCR test on me, and they were gonna do two of them. They were gonna shove one up my nose to test for fucking COVID, and I said, no, you're not. You're not gonna fucking do that, because I'm against that. I do not do PCR tests. And they were like, okay. And then they were going to do another one. They were going to shove in my fucking mouth, down my throat, and like rubber on my throat and pull it back out to test for like strep or something, because they were trying to see if I had a virus. And I still said, I really don't think that a PCR test going in my fucking mouth and throat would be a good idea at all, and I'm gonna have to say no to that for my own health and safety reasons, because I know that there's bad shit in the PCR test, so I'm not gonna fucking do that. And then they were like, that's fine, you don't have to. And then with that, they sent me home. They prescribed me 400 milligram pills of ibuprofen, and they just said, take these like every 6 hours, take one of them every 6 hours, and for the pain and inflammation and your headache and your fever and all that. And they just told me, like, well, you're young, it's probably most likely a viral virus or infection, it will probably go away over time, just like sit around at home, relax, drink water, and take these pills that they prescribed me, which was ibuprofen. And I did that, and I said, okay. And then what do you know, whatever it was, it went away on April 6th. This month, it went away when I threw it into the fucking trash can. The fever and all my symptoms were gone within like a day or two. Gone quickly. The fever and the pressure in my head went away within a few hours. That went away like quick. But the pain in my muscles took a few extra days to go away. But right now, I feel fine. I feel fine. I'm not sick at all anymore. Um, God, I'm a little thirsty though. I'm gonna. Hold on. I need to drink my fucking water. Oh God. But yeah, I'm not sick at all anymore. I feel great now. And yeah, I was really fatigued and like super fucking tired and out of it for a while. Like for days on end, I was like so fucking tired and I couldn't even think. I had like brain fog and everything. Like I felt like a fucking zombie. I felt like bizarre. And that was why I stopped uploading for so long because I was so fucking sick. I was like, oh, dude, I was like out of my mind for a while, but I feel fine now. Thank God. And I'm also sticking to my healthier diet and exercising more now because I'm trying to lose weight and I'm down to around 235 pounds now, I think, and I'm going to keep getting lower. So, yeah, that happened. Um, and also, I am still going to make the documentary that I've been talking about as soon as possible. And I don't know if you guys even paid any fucking attention to the posts that I put in my community, which I now have. I now have a YouTube community where I can post things and you can see what I post and react to it and all that. I don't know if any of you guys even looked at my community, at my YouTube community in the last like year even, but I've been saying for like 2 years now that I've been trying to find a way for you guys, my viewers and fans or whatever, to help me out with like getting better equipment for videos and help me out with like shit in life by paying me, which is why I made a Patreon, which it has been in a post linked in a post on my YouTube community for like a year at least now. At least it's been at least a year, maybe even a year and a half now that my fucking Patreon has been in my YouTube community post. Um, there's a brand new console player Discord server I made that I linked to Patreon that you can only join it if you buy one of my membership tiers on Patreon, and it will put you in my Discord. No one's joined it yet. No one's paid anything on it, and there's no Patreon members as of right now, which is kind of surprising, kind of sucks. But anyway, I think I also had linked my Cash App at one point and just said like, someone please fucking pay me when I was at my lowest, when I was like homeless in Illinois and all that shit. I'm pretty sure in one of my videos I did that. No one paid that either, but that's fine, I guess. Um, but I do have an official Console Player Patreon now. You guys can go see from the link that's in my community post. If you just go to posts on my channel, the first thing you see is that a big a big whole paragraph about it with a link to it. You guys can check that out if you want. And I hope to see some members on there soon. I'm probably gonna put some exclusive shit on there in the future, but right now I'm still preparing to start like making the documentary, which I've been saying for a couple of years now that I'm gonna put out, because I have tons and tons. I mean, I have months on months on months worth of fucking audio and videotapes from the time that I was living with my psychotic dad and grandpa in Illinois, which was between 2023 and very early 2024, like May, April 2024, around there. Between that time, I recorded like months on months on months worth of fucking audio and videotapes of those two nutcases acting absolutely insane and doing some of the craziest, like, shit that's crazier than you can possibly imagine them doing. It's all on tape. And I'm gonna release it all in a fucking documentary and completely talk about all the stuff that happened between then, and why I was led to that fucking place I was in when I dropped this documentary. I haven't even started working on a documentary yet, just because I have all this fucking footage laying around from that time that I need to get out there. But but all my fucking drives and devices I back stuff up to are out of space, and I've been like trying to get a chance to buy a new hard drive that I can back all this footage up to, and then start like re-editing it, go through it all, dating it, and like separating it on the specific dates that it was all filmed on, and get it all ready for YouTube. And that's gonna take a while, but I will update you guys when I'm starting to do that. But I did recently order a 1 terabyte external hard drive from Amazon, and an extra battery for my new Quest 3, which I've been filming my Batman videos and some of my other stuff on. I got my Quest 3 here, right here. It's a MetaQuest 3S. It's pretty good. Um, but yeah, I have a new battery for it that's supposed to plug in like the side here or something like that. But I ordered those together on Amazon like a couple days ago, and it hasn't shipped yet. But they just pulled the money for that today, so that's probably gonna ship in like a few days from now. But as soon as that gets here, I'm gonna use that hard drive to start compiling every fucking piece of footage I can find left on like my cloud storage, my photos, my USBs, everything I have left, that anything that has any footage from 2023 or 2024, I'm going to compile all of that footage together, and I'm going to put it all on that fucking hard drive, as much as I can fit on that 1 terabyte hard drive. And I'm going to start using that shit on the hard drive for the documentary and start the documentary process. And also, I'm going to use that extra battery for the headset, the Quest 3 headset, to try to make longer VR videos, because I am really fucking sick and tired of the battery that comes with the Quest 3S lasting like no more than 1 hour or an hour and a half when it's supposed to last longer than that. So I'm going to get like, I don't know if it's going to give me more than one extra battery. I only like put quantity of one, but even if it does only give me one battery on there, I'll order more of them later on. But either way, I have that stuff coming that's going to help me with production later on. I have so much stuff going on. But yeah, I probably will start making like a couple more VR videos before that even gets here, just to like try to get back into this stuff quicker. But either way, I'm gonna start making more longer VR videos as soon as that battery and that hard drive get here, and I'm gonna really start cracking on getting this documentary done, because I've been waiting for fucking months now to get this documentary in the can, and I haven't even fucking got it yet. And I've said so many times, I'm gonna make a documentary. It will be out soon. Like, if you guys remember, I said I said this once when I was in Illinois still, back in like mid 2024, shortly after I left my grandpa's house, when I was in this nice hotel room, and I did a stream that literally, I think the title of the stream was called something like "I'm now homeless because of my family." Documentary will be out soon. It was yada yada yada. It was something like that, and it was just me walking around the hotel like, "Hey guys, a lot of stuff's happened, and yeah, I'm gonna be doing this documentary soon." And I was in this like green colored like hotel room. I don't even know if that stream is still on the channel, but I remember making that. That was like fucking what was that like, April, May, maybe June 2024. It was like somewhere in mid 2024, like right after I was kicked out of my grandpa's house for bullshit reasons. But yeah, either way, that's gonna happen soon. Like, I'm working on it, guys. Promise you guys, I swear, I'm gonna fucking get this documentary out as soon as I can. I am working on it. And it's gonna take a long fucking time to finish it, but I swear I will fucking get it released. I will do as best as I can on that. All right. I'll see you guys in a future video. Bye bye.